Feeling chilled tonight? How chilled? Chilled enough to do battle with hideous monsters? Chilled enough to sneak around dank castles in the dark and chance being the next victim? That's enough of that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Chilling Wargamers, Season 4, Episode 5. I'm Andy2D6, your co-pilot, and as always I'm joined by Mr. Spud Tate, the Chicken Slayer.
Coo-gaff, 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 coo-gaff. Hello everyone.
How's it going, Mr. Spud?
I'm absolutely delicious and happy and in a good mood and everything. It's
Full of chicken, ready to roll?
full of chicken, dandelion, burgot, green stuff and Chinese resin.
What a combo.
Yep.
Next, we're joined by the man that's wanted by police in 18 different counties. The Danbringer. Death. Kane.
Yay!
Hey!
How's it going?
Swimmingly for a night after work. Yeah.
Feeling good? Ready to chill?
Very, very ready to chill. I was ready to chill yesterday.
It's going to be emotional.
Oh,
And
yes.
finally, our guest. A master of resin. He is James from Wargammer, also known as Mr. Dandy.
Yay!
Hello, thank you. Glad to be here.
How's it going today?
Great, just hanging out. It's early for me here in the States, so I'm still awake.
Yes, how early is it exactly for you?
It's 11 a.m.
Wow.
Ooh.
That was lunchtime?
It's,
Yeah,
it's a bit early for chilling, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's hard since it's kind of hot out. It's about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So,
Oh.
Well, be warned, you might need a nap after this show because we're going to be so chill.
well, sounds good. We could use that here.
Right, so then, would you like to tell us a little bit about your company?
I've been sculpting and making stuff since professionally since about 1995. But I got heavily into war games, and the Wargammer line was created in 2010. And just started with different things, making the Battle Wolf War Mounts was my first line in Wargammer, and then I did some custom bases and some terrain, and just been gradually adding more items, and it's just been a lot of fun. A lot of great war gamers I've been meeting at the shows, and a lot of my friends have been playing war games for years. So it's a lot of fun.
Of course, that's where we met you at Adepticon. I was just circling around the vendor hall and then just saw, those are very nice looking pools over there. And that's what caught my eye, and you said that those lava pools are your big seller that you always sell out of.
Yeah,
They
that's
caught my eye.
definitely.
Right then, so you said some of your friends were into wargaming. Does that mean that you haven't been? Or have you got a long history in wargaming as well?
It's been a long, spotty history, I'd say. I started my wargaming. I'm an older fellow. I started actually playing back in high school, which for me was in the late '80s. So we were playing. I was playing a lot of BattleTech and Car Wars, and those were my favorites. And so my good friends were really into Warhammer 40K back in the days when there were squats and all kind of stuff like that. The old Rogue Trader days. And I kind of drifted in and out of it since then. But really, my friends, I do so much sculpting and other stuff, and I've been doing it so much that kind of is my sort of vicarious window into the hobby. I hang out with a lot of wargamers. I hang out while they're playing, so it's like I'm kind of there. I'm like an honorary wargamer, but I gotta say, yeah, just as far as taking time off to actually do it myself, that half the time it's just a luxury I just don't get time to do, unfortunately.
Is that where you get a lot of your ideas from for like terrain making? Do you take a notepad and pen They're like, oh yeah, they could do something like that, and
Yeah, yeah. I'll just sometimes I'll grab. Half the time I'll be most inspired when I'm on a flight home from Adepticon or somewhere, and I'll just have all these ideas that are just popping up just all of a sudden, and sometimes I'll skate for a whole year off of concepts I just sketch on my little binder pad when I'm
yeah.
in my airline seat. It's
I
funny.
was gonna say, I saw a lot of people, not just with the pools, a lot of people were like astounded by the Aegis defense lines from different factions, what you can't buy from a certain company. So like they like stand out a lot compared to like everything else. Because I know there's a lot of MDF terrain, but yours have still got like the extreme detail of what faction it actually is.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, I do the linked barricades have been a really good seller, and yeah, people seem to like them. I've got some new ones coming out. They'll be announcing pretty soon.
Is that something that came from your experience around all the Wargamers, them talking between themselves about things that they would like to see certain companies come out with, so then you just start filling in the gaps?
Yeah, that's one of the ways I get inspired. Yeah, people will pull me aside and say, hey, why don't you do this or do that? And then sometimes I'll just do things that I want to do, things that I think would be fun and that people could use for any game, hopefully. And it's funny, you'd be surprised what people tell me they're using for different games. It's not always, things aren't always bought for the thing you'd think that they'd be used for. So I'm glad for that. I try to be as versatile as I can with my stuff.
Yeah, in case someone wants to decorate a dungeon.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
With a lot of your stuff being obviously not exactly like certain other companies, but would easily fit in with those, with the results of certain lawsuits in recent times involving those large companies, where people have suddenly been allowed to actually say, hey, this is what we've designed it for, does that change the way you may market some of your products in the future?
Not really. I mean, I pretty much my whole idea is I don't want to reference anyone else's games, just because I just feel like that's their thing, and I don't think that I really need to. I just want to kind of do my thing. If people want to use it for those games, that's great. If they want to use it for other games, that's great too. And yeah, I'm always surprised at how far people will go to different, and taking them into different games. Like somebody told me they're using, I had my spawn seed pod, and somebody told me they were using it for a Neo O2 or whatever, however you say that, for Dungeons and Dragons, and I thought that was great.
Yeah.
You don't want to put yourself dedicated for one little system. You want to let people use whatever they want it for.
Right.
Let their imagination run wild.
Yeah, exactly. And I at some point I'll be putting out my own game system. It may or may not be in the 28 millimeter, but I kind of like to think of things as being more standalone.
Yeah.
Is that likely to be a war game or a board game?
Probably, I have a couple ideas for a couple of different things. One is a very silly board game, because I don't just like to do hardcore serious war-inspired stuff. I like to do some kind of funky cartoony stuff too. It hasn't I haven't really made a go of it as much yet, except when I used to work for toy companies. For my own lines of stuff, I'd kind of like to do just a really funny game, like there used to be an old game called Snits, I think. It had these really funky, like big-nosed little cartoon characters, and they beat each other up and stuff. I thought that would always be fun to make a game, not exactly like that, but in that kind of spirit.
A lot of the models on your website currently, they're all quite serious, aren't they? So is that something you're thinking of going into, the funnier kind of miniatures?
Yeah, maybe. They're like, I just updated my site, but you used to be able to see all the other kind of funny stuff on there. I had some things that were inspired by 8-bit video game characters and some other stuff that's kind of more in the, if you're familiar with vinyl toys and that sort of thing, sort of underground designer toys. I used to do some stuff like that. And I used to work at Mattel Toys also, so I've got most of my career has been spent either doing collectible statues or toys like action figures and other kinds of toys.
So out of the line of models that you've got now, what's probably one of your favourites? But you can say, yes, I like looking at that model.
Well, the one I'm not completely tired of now is probably my brand newest one, the Maggot King, which is on pre-order right now. That's been kind of. Shall I pull that up?
It's very, very delicious. It's been used in all our thumbnails and all our Facebook posts because it is a very, very big favourite.
Let's see.
Did you have the model at Adepticon at all, or just the pictures?
I just had the pictures.
Yeah.
There we go. That's the Maggot King. Now that's an old look. Actually, the sculpture's been developed quite a bit since then. I'm actually going to update. I was really trying to get it for you guys today and didn't quite make it with the photos, so I apologize for that. But
kind of reminds me of a diseased Jabba the Hutt.
I figured if Jabba the Hutt was going to get around, he should have more legs.
Yeah.
I never bought that he could move under his own power when I was watching the Return of the Jedi as a kid.
That is proper awesome, though.
Well, thank you. And here's a. Oops, wait. Oops, there's some other stuff. My things I was looking at. Let me make sure I got the right one. Yeah, of course I'm inspired by other people doing stuff. Let's see. There we go. Oops.
Yeah, people have been commenting on that Maggot King though. Every time we put up a picture of it, promoting the show.
Where did you get that from? Well, this is in the corner.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. So there's like there's 4 different weapon options you can choose. That's just this. That's the sword. There's also a javelin, a mace, or I'm sorry, a javelin, a whip, and a sickle.
Yeah.
The whip kind of has a mace end on it a little bit.
Are the limbs fully posable on that?
No, they're not. Those are just the separated parts.
Okay.
I guess, but being separate parts, I suppose if you wanted to modify, do a little conversion, you probably could do that.
I just noticed the little cracks on him seem to form little faces there. I didn't even notice that before.
Okay, yeah. Here, I'll zoom in on that one. Yeah, this is kind of a low-res picture, but yeah, there's faces. Yeah, what I kind of thought of as he's sort of a soul eater, and the souls that he's eaten are sort of trapped in his belly, and sort of cracking, trying to get out. And then
there's a real bit of torment there, isn't there?
They do look quite tormented.
Yeah, I tried to get them. Yeah, they're these are kind of bad photos. The new photos I'll show you later. Well, they'll be on my site later. Actually, those will.
I think I'd be a little bit upset if my soul was trapped in someone's belly like that. So I'd probably be trying to get out as well.
Wouldn't be a lot of fun.
If you're in my belly, it'd be nice.
Well, you'd just be surrounded by chicken in there, wouldn't you?
Yeah, nice chickens.
When you're designing miniatures, how different is that from making something that's going to be a toy?
Well, most of the time when I'm doing toys, it's for somebody else, so they kind of dictate what it has to look like and how many parts it's going to have, and there'll be a licenser that gets in there and says, oh, the arms are too wide, or the costume is wrong, or lots of steps that way. Because I don't really have the money to produce my own toys, so unlike the resin miniatures, which I can produce on my own. So pretty much, it's the way I want it to look, with some input from trusted friends and customers that get a sneak peek. But that's the biggest difference. And of course, everything's smaller than most toys. Although I do like doing the bigger creatures and stuff. Kind of lets you work almost in the same scale as a lot of the toys were, but then it's scale is a lot bigger. So then you kind of try to pop up some of the details.
So from the start, so you said that you did the binder earlier. Like do you have like a sketch pad and then go and do it on on the computer and design it there?
Actually, well, I'm actually sculpting traditionally still at this point. I sculpt them all by hand, but I do start with sketches. My sketches aren't terribly impressive. I'd probably publish more of them, but they're usually I'm kind of making sizing templates, and I kind of see where I want to go with that, but I do my final designing in the sculpture.
Oh, okay.
That's just sort of my process, and unfortunately it's not very photogenic.
No, but that's old school, That's keeping it. That's how it used to be. There's probably not a lot of people like you left.
Yeah, there's a few. I mean, a lot of the people that are still doing greens I notice around, but more and more people are going into ZBrush, and you just because it's great. You just whack out some ZBrush. Take a couple of evenings, whack out a few ZBrush designs, and start taking pre-orders and make them later, I guess, is what people are doing these days.
Do you have other people involved in any stage of the production, or is this just a one-man operation?
I get help sometimes when I have a big flurry of orders, or if I'm going to do a show and I have to get a bunch of stock ready. Then in that case, I'll call in some help. I have some trusted individuals that do that. And my wife Debbie is a great help to me. She kind of helps around the office, and she helps me with production sometimes too. Like, she's my trimmer. She'll trim parts for me. But I'd say it's about an 85% all me doing everything at this point.
That is so good, man. That is proper good.
Well, it is and it isn't.
I suppose it isn't for you. Yeah.
I wish if I had more help, I'd be able to put out more models sooner. And I'm definitely looking into that and trying to find the right people to work with. And
because the more people you have to pay, the more people it'll leave less money for you to produce a model. And
it's a matter about being smart with it. I've had some missteps in that direction before. There's, as they say, there's the three when you're hiring somebody to do anything for you. There's three things you can ask for. You can ask to have it fast, cheap, or good. And you can always get one, and maybe you can get two, but you can never get all three. And I had one year, one of my early years, I had all three had catastrophic problems of one. One was quality, one was speed, and one was what was the third one? quality, speed, and and price. You can that's it. You can have it either fast, cheap, or good, but you can't have all three. So one overcharged, one was poor quality, and one was super late. And I just said, I'll just stick to doing it myself for a while.
Have you ever thought about just releasing to do a few products on like a crowdfunder kind of thing?
Yeah, I've got a couple of those in the works right now.
That'd be proper skills. That'd be good.
Thanks. Yeah. One is probably going to start this summer. We'll be at San Diego Comic-Con this year, so I want to have it definitely launched by then. Maybe it'll still be ongoing when I'm at Comic-Con.
Yeah. What are we allowed to find out? What stuff there's going to be, or what kind? Like, is it going to be terrain models, or is it going to be a bit of mix?
This will actually be. It'll be something you haven't seen me do yet. It's actually I don't want to say too much, but let's say it's a gaming accessory. But it's something I haven't seen anyone do yet in the same way, and I'm pretty excited about it. This would actually most likely have to be manufactured out of country, so it'll be hopefully so I just have to get everything set up for that before I can announce it. But but yeah, we're pretty excited about it.
How do you normally handle your casting? Do you do that all yourself?
Sorry, do I do my casting? Yeah, I sure do. Yeah,
That must take a while then.
Yeah, I've gotten really good at it. I think I try. Hopefully, people like the quality. I try to keep it as efficient as possible, so I can. From what I've heard, the people that do their own casting, most of them don't pull the same number of parts that I do in a day. It's just I've gotten a fairly good flow down. But that's what when I get help, usually that's what it is people coming in to help me with the actual production of casting.
So do you have everything on site, or have you got is it all yours, or do you use a third party?
For casting or for sculpting?
For casting.
Oh yeah, right now it's all I'm doing all the casting right now.
Wow.
It's really a one-man show, eh?
Yeah, pretty much. Occasionally get help and stuff, but I think it's gonna. The next step is definitely taking on, a partner to do more of that, take on more of that for me.
Is this a full-time thing for you, or do you have another?
Yes. Yep. This is my breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Has it been since the beginning, or did that change along the way?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I've been doing it since 2010, and I was fortunate that my first product right out the gate was a pretty big success. That would be the Battle Wolves, and like I can tell you for about a year and a half, that was my whole career was just serving out those wolves. That was pretty crazy. So yeah, that's been pretty much what I do. I've been actually sculpting, casting, and doing that kind of stuff professionally, since 1995. So.
Is it you plan to turn it into a huge, big operation with tons of employees and locations and all this kind of thing, or is it just going to stay relatively small?
Well, I guess that part of that depends on how some of these Kickstarters go. The summer one, we're sort of testing the water of the expansion. If it goes the way I hope it does, and anyone would hope that, then I'll probably need to have warehousing and a few some people on fulfillment for me. So that might be sort of the thing that puts me in that direction, which hoping. Fingers crossed.
Because there's some nice warehouse spaces in Leeds, you see. I'm looking to get out of my job one day because I don't really like it.
Right on. Yeah, maybe for UK distribution, we'll need.
Need at least 3 operatives.
Yeah, you can pay him a chicken as well.
Yeah.
I think Spud has promised his future employment to pretty much every guest we've ever had, so don't read too much into that.
Well, one of them is going to pay off. You'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've got a question from the audience. Yep. Fancy like this, I've even put it on the screen. Will Wargammer make any official terrain bits like that company that does for Infinity by Bazooka J?
Oh, I think you cut out a little bit for me. Can you repeat that was for me? Was that question for me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you do it again? I
can. Would Wargammer make any official terrain for any company such like the company that does for Infinity at the moment?
Well, I haven't been approached for anything official yet, but yeah, it's always possible.
Cool.
Right, we've had another couple of, I'm not sure if they're questions exactly, but we've had some more comments. A lot of people saying hello. Let's just see who was in here today, actually. We've got Mazda Mundi, we've got Graham Cullen, Fear GFX in his wooden shoes over there. We've got Tom Wilson, Black Blade, McDark Beer, and Family of Gamers, who says, "What's up, y'all?" I'm not sure there's that many L's in y'all.
Easy if you're from New York, I think.
I'm sure in an apostrophe there as well.
No, there's not.
Oh.
Maybe that's how you actually spell it, and we just weren't aware.
Yeah.
Right. Now, you said the walls were a really big seller. Are they still your biggest seller?
Yeah, it's sort of, well, I'd say the biggest single line seller right now, yeah, I'd say definitely is the linked barricades. But then a lot of the other miscellaneous terrain. Actually, the funny thing is at the shows, the miscellaneous terrain sells the best. Online, the barricades seem to be selling the best right now.
Yeah.
And it's been a while since I've had a new release, so we've got a few more new releases coming, so that could change. We'll see what it shakes out into.
Yeah, the barricades do have some very nice themes going on.
Well, thank you.
Have you ever put out any products that just completely flopped and you just had to pull it because it wasn't worth doing it anymore?
Yeah, a couple. Well, pretty much everything I was selling before Wargamma flopped. I mean, not flopped, but it wasn't enough.
As popular.
Yeah, and it wasn't. I mean, it's always a hard sell when you're trying to make a new line that kind of doesn't have, like, there's a built-in intense interest and community around wargaming, and people need miniatures of one kind or another. They need bases. And they share them around, and it's such a great, intense passion that people have for it. Whereas it comes to toys and collectibles, that somebody's going to put it on their shelf and they're going to display it, and if you're really lucky, they might show it to a friend or something, but it's just not the same kind of immediacy. So it is a little bit harder to sell when you're going to go off on your own and make your own original, say, toy or just collectible figurine, unless you've really got a big name. It's like some of my famous friends in the industry. They could make anything and it would probably sell. Just because they're so good. I won't knock their talents at all. They've worked hard for that reputation, but yeah, it takes quite a bit. I did have one wargaming product I can say that flopped. Was I had a bunker that used to be on my old original site. It was sort of a square, sort of shoebox-shaped bunker, and it wasn't very good, so I pulled it.
I think
plus it was a pain to make because it was so big.
A lot of it, sometimes it's not necessarily dependent on quality, because you could be making really good stuff, but if people aren't sure what they want to use it for, then it's not going to appeal to them. But
True.
a lot of your stuff, there is an obvious use within existing game systems that people are already on the lookout for, so when they see it, they think, hey, I've been looking for something like that. I'll have that, and then I'll tell everyone about this, and other people will see them with it, ask where they got it. So that's a good thing, I think.
Yeah, try to balance it between usability, versatility, usability, and sort of something that it can be used for also.
Do you think like the barricades that you've got are like the missing product from another company that I'll probably never ever do it, so it sticks out a lot more when people go, they're awesome, because that's what when we stood there waiting to speak to you, that's what everyone was saying, because it was just like people in the game and have had to convert their own and stuff like that, and some people just don't have the time, so they can just buy them straight from you and they have like a sick product.
Nice. Yeah. If people can find it useful, I'm really happy.
Yeah.
Some of the items, even though the designs are relatively simple, someone looking at it might think, if I put in enough time, I might be able to make something similar to that, but then they'll just never get round to it, because it is just about how long you put in. So it's just convenient, especially since the prices of your stuff aren't exactly astronomical.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm glad you think so. I try to keep things reasonable as I can, and I doing it in-house kind of helps with that, certainly.
Yeah, the designs don't have to be really complex. Sometimes just a pool of water, and someone looking at it, well, I could make something, but probably won't. So why don't I just spend the very reasonable amount just to buy one, rather than trying to make it myself?
Yeah. So, on this show, we actually get paid in secrets. So, have you got anything new you could show us at all? Any secrets?
I do actually. I could show you a couple brief previews.
Secrets. Delicious.
A box, little goodie box down here. So
Delicious resin secrets.
so who likes trees?
Ooh,
Who doesn't like trees?
Well, I have. If you've probably seen on my site, I've got a. I call him the Oak Lord.
Yeah.
Anyway, I wanted to give him some smaller buddies.
Some tree friends.
Yeah, some little happy tree friends. And anyway, so here's one piece that's still. Now this is still a work in progress, but basically.
Little. He's not little. He's massive.
Well,
Wow.
it's bigger. The Oak Lord is quite a bit larger than this guy.
Yeah.
But the Oak Lord is probably towers over him substantially. But
Maybe
anyway.
his little cousin, maybe.
Yeah. So I tried to give him. He's got a little bit longer legs. I always wished I'd kind of gone longer with the legs on the Oak
Well,
Lord.
when you said little friends, though, I was thinking something about the size of saplings.
And there might be some smaller ones still, but yeah, to the Oak Lord, I kind of maxed out what you could put on a 50 mil base,
Yeah.
mil square, and so here's another one. So this is intended to be a line of 3 different trees. So here's kind of the squat, the stubby one.
Oh, he's proper sick.
Those are some large fists.
Yeah, I'm
proper
deciding if I want to stay that large with the fists or bring them down a little bit. But I just thought it was fun to kind of take the tree and squash his body down. Well, I always get turned around with this camera. Just kind of squash the body down as far as I could and make his head kind of have a big sprout coming out.
That does look pretty cool.
Well, thank you.
But you wouldn't really want to get into a fight with that guy, would you?
Not so much.
Not a fist fight, anyway.
Probably
No.
bowl you over. Oops. I'm still getting used to the camera thing. You know, I don't do the cam thing a whole lot, so you can probably tell.
This is your official first show, isn't it?
Yeah, you guys are deflowering me for the camera culture.
Yeah.
I hope we've been gentle enough for you.
Oh, as gentle as a lamb. So then here's tree number 3. I have one piece came off of him, so I hope you'll overlook that. But oops. Anyway, this is kind of the funky, long-legged tree.
Oh, he's nice.
And he's
Can't
missing a
decide.
finger.
I can't decide whether he looks like a disco tree or, you know, those like carnival people on stilts.
Oh yeah, that's a good. Yeah, yeah, I just wanted to kind of mix it up and have one that's kind of scary and pointy, and one that's kind of long-legged, like, and then another one that's kind of short and punchy.
Well, you never see 2 identical trees, do you?
That's true. Here's the back. Oops.
Are we going to see pictures of these up soon in glorious HD?
Yes, very soon, hopefully. Yeah, I hope they look better on your end than they do on mine.
We get the basic idea, I think. It's hard to see the detail. We can see their faces, though.
But
Okay.
you've done that on purpose so people can't see the details because it's not finished yet.
You know they have to go to your website.
Yeah, it's a little
Just
bit.
teasing them.
Yeah, just tease them. Where's that? Where are we going again? Where's that website?
The website's wargamma.com.
Yeah, there we go.
I think I put it on my. Did I put it on my lower third?
I think you...
It's in the description below as well.
Yeah, we can't really see the lower third, unfortunately, too well.
If you have rubbish internet, it slows it right down and it like pixelates us. I'm the same. I'm a pixeler. Man, that's not.
I have glorious
There's
mode, which is why you can
There's
see.
only Andy that has 200 megabytes a second or something.
You can see every strand of hair. Just
Even a few greys.
there we go.
Andy, there's a question for you here in the chat.
Uh
It's from the clog wearer himself, Mr. Fear GFX. He said, Andy, do you get in fist fights with trees often? He said, I once did and I lost. Big time, apparently.
Not often, but there was that one incident that I try not to talk about too much because my therapist thinks it's for the best. I'll just put that in the past. I know Mr. Fear GFX got into a fight with a tree because he was just walking through the woods, and then the tree just spotted him and said, "Oi, you're wearing my brother!" down at his feet. That's what they do.
I think I ran into a tree one time. I guess the only time I've attacked a tree is with a headbutt. I think when I was a kid, I hit my head on a tree one time. It's a bit painful.
I did
I think I
fall
have
out of
a
a tree
red flag
once.
with you.
I fell out of one when I was a child and landed straight onto my back, thankfully, rather than head first.
Are you sure you weren't dislodged by a movement of the tree?
It's possible.
Yeah,
I weren't aware that trees were completely sentient until recently.
I can't think I've ever had a fight with a tree.
Spud, are you
Personally.
sure about that? You look like the kind of guy that would get into a fight
Start on a
with a tree,
tree.
to be honest.
Nope. No. I don't forgive it. No, I can't actually say any funny stories. I'm sorry.
And we've also got a comment about the big-fisted tree. The new release ninja himself thinks the big-fisted tree looks like a Wreck-It Ralph tree.
Yeah. Go about Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, well that could be quite interesting.
I really loved Wreck-It. Did you guys like Wreck-It Ralph?
Oh, it was fantastic. Got loads of video game references from my youth,
Yeah.
especially Qbert.
Yeah, Qbert.
I don't know anything about it.
I've seen
You
it.
young-
It's pretty good.
The
Oh
graffiti.
no, I've seen Wreck-It Ralph, but I haven't seen any of the cartoons that are in it.
Mm.
I've seen
Yeah,
a few like Mortal Kombat and stuff, but
At Disneyland, my wife and I have a season pass for Disneyland, so we go there probably once or twice a month, and they have an arcade there, and they actually have the Fix-It Felix machines that you can play.
Cool.
That's a lot of fun.
Now, Spud,
yes,
can I hear something on the rooftops?
I think so.
What could it be?
It could be possibly a secret ninja.
Oh.
It could be anywhere.
Good morning, YouTube!
It's back!
Hiya, guys. It's been a while.
How are you, Mr.
Great to see you again. So, what's been doing up there?
How's it been? Good assassinating people that you
Yeah.
can't talk about?
Full hands of work, you know. So, without further ado, let's jump to the great stuff that we have seen lately on the web. So, here we've got some news from Arena Rex. They already finished some of their miniatures. We can see a great idea for Medusa, and more that we have seen some WIPs for the Scorpion Rider. Of course, there was a Kickstarter from Jeremy Glenn, and since I haven't been there for quite a long time, I think I'll show you some great concept arts of his for some of his new creations. Of course, each more amazing than the earlier one. Zombie Dragon, the Tree Walker. Here we've got some new models for Dark Age.
Ooh.
Quite tasty, aren't they?
Yeah, a quite interesting game. Here we've got some robots for Dropod from Dreampod 9. I think that Phil would like them.
Who are they from? Dreamforge 9?
Dreampod 9.
Ah, okay.
and some new stuff from Evilcraft. They are doing evil, futuristic, highly armored Marines, let's say. Oh, that one's.
Ah, yeah.
Are they in space by any chance?
Yeah, something like that.
Sci-Fi Templars.
Yeah, we've got here, of course, new stuff from GW, the 3-man, all entries of it. Some
They're a little bit
models.
disappointing after the trees we've just been looking at.
Yeah. And some more, what else? From Godslayer.
Godslayer.
Yeah.
That's quite a
And
name.
this is great menu 3D render from Guild Ball. And another player for Guild Ball. Some new stuff from Hustle for Miniatures. And we've got loads of new miniatures and new previews for Infinity the game. These are new models for cool motorized troops. Before these, there were monobikes, quite funny. These are more badass. Got new models for many armies. And of course, thanks to Beasts of War, we've got loads of previews on their channel. We could see it for some concept arts. Spot something for you.
Yes.
What's a sci-fi polar bear?
Yes,
Pandas.
Pandas.
Ninja Panda.
Is that an Infinity Panda?
Yeah,
is.
there is. There are quite a few pandas in Infinity. Yeah, cool. And this is in my opinion, the best models they released lately. They are going to release this. They are going to be in sales something about in summer this year. So not far from now. As you can see, these are amazing.
It forgot to shave this morning, I think.
Yeah. And of course, the best guys out there, that means Kingdom of Death. Another incredible sculptures. Look at this one.
That's disturbing.
Yeah, look, if you look closer, these are not mustaches, these are hands by his face. I think the guys that are doing these models just got to change the dealer.
Twisted Souls. I love it.
Yeah, incredible. As always, amazing sculptures, great ideas, and just amazing. This is cool. I had to look quite a bit. If you take a closer look in the back, you can see a chain made of infants, and actually the head is not a head. It's held by in someone's hands. So another great idea. Of course, new Mantic models for Forge Fathers for that zone.
Ooh. I'll be keeping my eye on those.
Max Mini released some new weapons. This looks cool. These are Sonic weapons. Looks much better than original ones, in my opinion. And the first previews of their Green Alliance, with some kind of orc shooting some goblin, I think. Looks cool. From Mercs, new previews, much better than the first ones, first models. I think much more detailed. These are all, of course, works in progress. And some new models for Warma Hordes. These are first miniatures for Cephalix faction. This looks disturbing. Look at these ones. They are supposed not to be warjacks, but monstrosities. This is some kind of new type of unit in War Machine, I think. I don't play it, so I can't be sure.
Amazing.
These are
They're
cool.
going in my Nurgle army.
Yeah, these are cool. Gatormans and some other really nice stuff. Okay, Pulp City released more of their heroes and villains from Kickstarter. And of course, new ladies from Raging Heroes. Yes, and then more wolves today. Lady wolves.
Ah!
So essentially, it's a lady with a wolf's head and tail and a bit of hair going on.
Yeah, something like that. Of course, as always, the renders are great details and great ideas. So hopefully, in not far future, we will see the actual models of this. Because on the Kickstarter site, we can see already some sculpts and bikers. From Ristle's Extraordinary Market, some new miniatures. Looks like some Necron stuff or something like that. From Terragnosis, some new interesting miniatures. I don't know what it is, but this is good. That guy's looks cool. If you take a closer look, he got a sever hedge on his chest. So quite a good idea. I think some kind of flamer. And from Titan Forge, Kickstarter from Steelbirds, Metalbirds, Beards, Steelbeards, miniatures for the dwarves. We've got some great previews. This guy looks cool. We can finally see some face.
Indeed, pretty.
I think we lost Sapper.
Oh.
I don't know. I think we should just remain dead silent for 5
Early
minutes. and see what
projects
happens.
there was.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
I am. Now you can hear me.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
how much have you lost? Did you see this?
You had to go with a pretty face. Yeah, we
Okay,
saw that
now
one.
Okay, so we'll go. Move on.
I
Just
do
more
love some Titan Forge.
That's where we were.
more cute dwarves. Okay, and oh, this one's cool. Infernal Golem. I'm still waiting to see how large he's going to be. And some Zeppelins, much better than the GW ones, I think. Look at the
Lovely.
face on the front of this guy.
It's bigger than a paint pot, so.
Yeah, looks cool. And from Wargames Factory, some American Militia and other 50 mil stuff. Wild West Exodus, some new cool steampunk Wild West stuff. And some ideas for the newest models. And from Wrath of Kings, we've got quite a big amount of new miniatures and upgraded old miniatures that we saw already earlier. So as you can see, quite a lot of new stuff from Cool Mini or Not this time. And of course, new stuff from Malifaux. We've got finally plastic starter for Gremlins.
They do look quite tasty.
That's it.
Yeah, and other cute miniatures. Punk Zombies, great idea. And this one's cool as well. Dawn Serpent. And that's all for today.
Yes.
Hope you liked it. So thanks for watching.
Thank you very much,
Stay
Mr.
safe, guys.
Sapper. You're a lovely person.
Thank you.
Great stuff.
And that's it. In a puff of smoke, disappears.
Now then, Mr. Dan, if we had any more questions.
I've got one more.
Well, there we go.
I've got one more. It was actually a pre-show question, and it was from the Terrain Shooter, and it says, "This is for the guest, so Mr. Wargammer. What are your top 5 tips for making terrain?"
Top 5 tips for making your own terrain.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well, I guess the way I do it's probably a little different than the way anyone else would do it. But PVA glue is a good way to make almost anything really durable, as most wargamers know. And let's see. Oh, another material I like is it's a type of epoxy called Magic Sculpt. Are you guys familiar with that?
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, it usually comes in a much bigger container than you would get the green stuff in, and it's like as tough as rocks or whatever once you cure it, and then you can carve it and sand it, really do some cool stuff. And while it's curing, you can take a brush and make all kinds of textures with it, or spread it around, and that's pretty good stuff. And I don't know. I guess probably other than that, I probably don't have any really useful tips for making one-of-a-kind terrain. I'm mostly about the sculpting and then recasting it. So my originals aren't very sturdy.
Right, I think we've got a few more audience questions. At least one I think I can see, which is, let's see if this works. Oh, yeah, there we go. From Tom Wilson. He wants to know, have you ever had any cease and desist orders? And
Nope.
if so, what was your reaction?
Nope, haven't gotten one.
Well, that answers that question.
Yeah.
If you were to get one, how would you respond, do you think?
I don't know. I guess it depends. Depends what it was. If their request was reasonable. If I'd have to have. I'd certainly evaluate whatever it was I was doing that they felt I should cease and desist doing. But so far nobody's had a problem with anything I do, and so I guess only time will tell.
Don't think there's any more questions in there, so I think it's time to move on to a very delicious part of the show that we like to call Poem of the Week.
Yes!
Now, can I have a drum roll, Mr. Spud?
You can do in 15 to 20 seconds.
We'll just sit here. Is that the best I'm going to get, really?
No, I'm opening Google Effects. Oh, here we go. As you can see, I'm always prepared. Nearly there. Alright, let me just.
Do it. We believe in you.
No, that's for Ninja. Watch Sapper come back. No, sorry. Right, okay, so we'll start again.
Producing great sculpts all day and night, with no chance of infringing on copyright. Obelisks, barricades, monsters and bases, robots, turrets, and alien faces. Creatures you'd probably fight off with a hammer. All these things brought to you by Wargammer.
Well done! Yay!
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Andy 2D6 for that.
That was very good. That was most masterful.
Was it
I'm a
emotional?
master of my craft, much like you are.
Was it very emotional? That's what we just need to know.
It brought a tear.
Tugged at a couple of heartstrings.
That is perfect. So, another subject, it's Dan's tip of the week.
Oh, is it?
So, yeah, I'll give you 10 seconds and then I'll give you a drum roll.
No, that's not on.
Don't endorse any illegal activities this time, Dan.
No, my tip of the week this week is whenever someone's going to catch you out like this, try and think on the fly. Try and deflect it, and say, what would your tip of the week be, Mr. James? Wargammer.
What would my tip of the week be?
He's just done 5 tips in a row.
Punted it back to me. No, let's see. Let's see.
I can give you a drum roll if you want.
If always keep your tool wet.
There you go.
That's a good idea. Moisture.
Oh yeah.
Very few things in the world can't be improved with moisture.
That's right.
How about you,
So-
Spud? Have you got a tip of the week?
Actually, yeah. So if it's going to be moisture for your tools and stuff, especially for like green stuff, you can use petroleum jelly or Vaseline as well, and it keeps it a lot easier than having to keep applying water to it all the time. Because sometimes water can harden the green stuff with the petroleum jelly. It gives you that easier, and it doesn't leave finger marks either when you use petroleum jelly because it's already got the layer over the top. Boom! Just like that.
That was quite a good one, I think.
Yeah. So a lot of people might have been watching the show thinking, why is Spud not wearing his delicious chili and Wargamer t-shirt? And it's just waiting in the background. Well, like a chicken knight himself, I'm waiting to wear it for the Mantic Open Day on Saturday, and there is me, Andy 2D6, Dan for 11th, Deathbringer, whatever his name is, Legion, Kane, Stevie B from Miniature Maniacs, and Pezzapoo from Pezzapoo. And we're going to go down to Nottingham and we're going to invade them. Not even going to. We're all going to have matching t-shirts on, different colours though, because we're all professional. I'm just going to invade Mantic. They don't know we're coming though, so don't tell them.
Yeah, they do.
They don't.
We don't go anywhere without advanced warning. We terrify people.
And if you want, what I'll do is I'll bring my Chilling Wargamer stencil, and if you want a t-shirt, I'll just spray it on onto your t-shirt or onto your head or something. I've got different sizes, so could do face painting outside of Mantic HQ.
Can I make a suggestion? Make a suggestion of this is my tip of the week. Don't spray paint in people's faces.
No, I will make them wear goggles.
Yeah, so if anyone
And a dust mask.
sees us at the Mantic Open Day,
Run.
run up and hug Spud without asking. Just run up.
Yeah.
He loves that. He
Yeah,
loves the soft caress of another human against his body.
Let's leave it maybe another like 20 to half an hour because it might be a little bit touchy with me, like my reaction skills. But after that, once I start getting tired, you'll be okay.
Yeah, in the afternoon,
So-
just run up to him, just
I don't think they'll get their arms around me, but yeah. I don't think anyone can get their arms around me like that. I was until about 10 years old. So yeah, Mantic Open Day on Saturday, and then we're off to Triples on Saturday to go invade Sheffield.
Sunday.
Sunday, that's what I said. So Sunday.
Yeah, that's triples in Sheffield. It's a wargaming convention.
Triple. It is on Saturday though as well. It's
Yes.
just we're going on Sunday.
Yes, 2-day event.
So that was my news for the week.
But I have a little bit of news on mine. Is little project that I've been babbling on about for quite some time now. So, some of you recognise the Space Crusade Marines.
It took you 28 years to do them. No, 26.
Yeah.
You
So
got them in
I-
87.
So I finally got some paint on those things. Finally started that project.
Did you have to scrape off a couple of decades worth of dust first?
No, they're all. I kept them all in Ziploc bags. If anyone watched my videos, I love these things.
Ding.
Yeah.
Mate, do you want to see how many I got? I got an order from China today, and yeah, if police come in my room, they're gonna think I'm some sort of drug dealer. Like, I've got so many of these little, as what drug dealers call them, druggie bags.
Are you sure you're not, Spud?
Look at them all. I've got more. Look.
Well, if they come in your room and you tell them that you've covered the entire area with resin and basing materials, and then they look and see these little bags of like snow powder.
Well, the snow's in my drawers, so they'd have to go through my drawers. First, you have to get through all my models first.
You
I
have
haven't painted.
seen inside those drawers of all your models still in their blister packs, but
Unpainted models. Yeah, I'm working on my Nurgle army for 6th of July. You know, for the arrival of Kugath, 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 Kugath.
You'll come on the board for one turn and then die.
Anyone that does gets a free shot to the testicles. That's his rule.
Well, I think we should probably start winding down after that bombshell. Well, it's been an emotional ride tonight, hasn't it, guys?
It has. I've been very excited about this, and it's over now, though.
There's always next week, though.
There's always next week. Yes!
Who's the guest next week,
remember,
Scott?
the guest next week is Titan Terrain Studios. Where's my drum? Oh, there it is. It's not like a good joke. Yeah, anyway, that's the noise that you're getting for Titan Terrain Studios. But yeah, we've got those on next week, so that's going to be emotional, so tune in at 8 PM next week again, I think it is, because it's a US time.
Just check Facebook for the time to be sure.
Yeah, be on Facebook and G+ and everything else, so check it out. Make sure you go over to wargammer.com and check out all the products and buy loads of other stuff. Ding, ding. So go check out them. The link will be below. It's all over Facebook as well, so please go help him out.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys having me on. It's been great chilling with you guys.
It's all about the chilling.
We're just doing our bit for the community, getting those wonderful brands out there that we love so much.
Right in there.
You can feel it.
You feel the love.
Feels you, dog.
And I think tonight we should go out on a group hug, because there is quite a lot of love in the air, isn't there? So come on, everybody, bring it in.
Bring it in.
Dan, why are you not hugging?
I'm protesting.
Come on, Dan, jump in on this quick before I end the show. Come on.
Oh,
Here we go.
yeah, here we go.